Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of One Vision, the Fintech Views. This is Theo, your host for the episode today. Now, joining us on the show is Sherry Wu, CTO of the University of Michigan Credit Union, UMCU. Welcome to the show, Sherry.
Thank you very much, Zero, for allowing me to join your show.
Oh, I am absolutely fabulously excited. Gosh, I can't even talk today. Thanks to Elizabeth for actually connecting us in real life
Yeah.
there was Vegas FinTech Meetup. This was a
hmm
while ago. And I love chatting with you because, like last time when we connected, you mentioned there aren't really too many people like us. And it's always exciting to find people with common background, stories you can share that you can relate to, and just bring different perspectives to the show. So thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I've been following you long time ago, and one of the conference I went to many years ago. You remember that one, and then follow you since then on LinkedIn. So pleasure to meet you in person and finally in FinTech meetup a couple months ago, and then able to chat with you, and then today.
Yes, and I look forward to more events
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So before we start, can you walk us through your career journey for a little bit for those of our listeners who may not be familiar with you?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in China and I finished my undergraduate and came here for a master degree in computer science and working in the IT for many years, all different companies in for different industries. And at that time, I realized that if I want to kind of quote quote move up a little bit more, MBA will be a good one. So I attended the University of Michigan Ross Business School and get an MBA while I'm working. Um, and then I joined HP as a business consulting after the MBA. And then always looking, while at the school, I had a passion for financial industry. And then I also got opportunity to join as a board for a smaller credit union as a board member. So with all those in thinking, I just feel like I really want to get into financial industry because technology is a key center of the financial industry versus I was working some automotive and where they call the IT a cost center. So I want to not be called a cost where you cost too much, IT costs too much. Yes, everything we do spend lots of money, but we are making big difference through technology. So that is really driver for me to get into financial industry. And then I got opening saw the opportunity at the University of Michigan Credit Union. So I joined them 8 years ago as a CTO. Really enjoyed the life and what I'm doing here and get to know all other people, different credit unions or fintech. So it's really great journey so far.
I chuckled because in my 20 years in telco, and I was in IT, I was very much in IT, different parts of IT.
Mhm.
So I did IT engineering, we were managing data warehouses.
Mhm.
And then I was in a different group within IT that was doing innovation. And then I was in billing. So every department I went in IT, I often hear the same thing. We're the cost center, right? Because you're maintaining servers, it costs
Yeah.
money. You're maintaining redundancy. You have engineering teams doing code updates. All of those are cost to them. They're
Yeah.
like, why are you even here? Well, we kind of like you, but we don't like you. So I
Yeah.
totally get what you say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so at UMCU, you're the CTO. We talk a lot about technology and financial services, be it credit union, community bank, or big banks. Um, there's always the question around legacy systems, modernization, and we still catching up. It doesn't matter, where we are constantly playing catch up. What are some of the biggest tech challenges that you see facing credit unions today? Because I love what you say earlier about, IT playing a bigger part within financial services and helping
Yeah.
us innovate and
Yeah.
create new value. On the flip
Yeah.
side, what do you think are the biggest challenges and how are you approaching them?
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so we continue, right, as an increasing competition, which is a good thing, right? So there are big banks and then there are credit unions from bigger to small, but there are newcomers, not that new now, like fintechs and the new banks, right? So they are taking the share from the big banks or credit unions. So those fintechs like a Chime, a Venmo, they're expanding their services so the member our customers realize I can just get to them. I don't even have a banking account, right? They serve everything and it's so unique and so fast. So that's the biggest challenge I would say for credit union. It's like how you can maintain, membership for them to stay with you and continue drawing new members, right? Especially the young membership, how they can continue still want to be with you. So that will be one of the biggest. So what we do, at UMCU, it's um, you know, first learn what their younger folks or the members they wanted, and then to see what services you can provide within our platform or the service, right? So learn from those fintechs and what service you can provide, but then maintain our specialty, the service, right? That's one of the bigger thing, distinguish and community impact. Where we have a different differentiation. And then I would say another one would be legacy system and digital transformation. It's something we continue need to do. And so the limitation for challenges for credit union are we're smaller, right? We have limited resources. So most likely we are leverage a third party for our main things like online and mobile app, right? It's nice that we able to do that so we can have jump to a baseline quickly, right? Versus we develop take many years to develop. But the limitation is we are relying on that third party, that vendor, what they willing to integrate with another a fintech or third party. So we rely on their roadmap, rely on their timeline, nothing we want to do. So that's another limitation or a challenge. So for us, sometimes is credit union get together, say, oh, we really, really like this one. If we have the same vendor, and then we can talk and say, oh, can we get to that integration quickly versus saying wait for another year. So that's how we do as a credit union, always share knowledge and then partner together, have a bigger voice, a stronger voice. Another, I would say, personalization. So we all talk about personalization and say, oh yeah, it would be nice, personalized, give you offer you're looking for, you're thinking buy a car, which is next day, you'll get a car, a pre-approval. But the challenge is the data, how we get there with all among data and for smaller credit union, right? The limited resource, how we can able to get insight from the amount of data and then the technology user. We don't have, say, 50 people in the data department to do that, right? So those are resource constraints. But third party leverage and third party tool is a way to do that, right? And then again, that will bring, you can jump that quickly to get to the warehouse to specialized, but limitation is again, we talked about earlier, it will be whatever this vendor can do. So that is the challenges, but yeah, the credit union figure out the way to best utilize what we have, and we serve. We pretty much cover every business the bigger banks does, but just on the little bit smaller scale. So it's actually for the people I keep telling the people working with me said you should feel like lucky or have all the challenges because we all carry multiple hats. And at the bigger companies, which my career always at the bigger companies, you only do one thing and then you repeat doing the same thing multiple years. So the growth is limited. But here, the challenges you can convert to opportunities, right? You do one person, we may have a person doing DBA as well as writing code. Right, in the big company, DBA definitely is total separate the coding developers, right? So I think we always the mindset how we change the challenge into opportunities.
I love that mindset. Oftentimes we're very I'm trying to find the right word. Maybe constraint into thinking this is our box, then we stay within the box. And you're absolutely right. When you're in an environment that's smaller, you're allowed more opportunities to branch out, to do
Hmm.
different things, to take on different tasks. And oftentimes this is where you see new ideas, right,
Hmm.
being born, because you have more freedom
Hmm.
to expand and to try different things. So I like that. And you talked about mindset change. Wow, that's a lot packed in there. And I I I like when you were saying you're leveraging powers with other credit unions. If you band together, um, you have a bigger voice.
Yeah.
Absolutely true. In relation to that,
Mm-hmm.
um, we often talk about credit unions, the members that you serve are very particular in your community. Some of them might perceive technology in different ways. They might be more used to, I remember, I think last time we talked, people like to come to the branch because,
Hmm. Hmm.
they know the people.
Yeah.
There was another person I talked to, Brian, actually, he said that, some of his members just love calling in to the call center, not because they have questions, they just want to chat with people. So those are different characteristics, if you will, of the members.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, and then on the other hand, do you think about introducing new things, new ways of doing
Hmm.
things, introducing
Yeah.
new technology? How do you balance that out and get them to move with you?
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, so the story you talk about, I have another kind of story about that during the COVID, and we have older members calling contact center every single day, something like you said, just asking what's my balance, and it's the same thing as yesterday. You have the same, but it's they were isolated. They feel like there's a lifeline. I can talk to a person, and then just fascinating when every time I go to our contact center or go to a branch and to see the interaction with the member and our MSR, they know by name. They all know each other by first name. Just fascinating to see that. So that's the culture we have, and the credit union is we're not alone, but we do a really good job on that, and I feel really good about right and about that. And I mean, to add another story, I have a programmer used to be MSR. He had such great relationship with the brand, the one particular lady at the branch, a customer, and that customer, every time when she put bake the cookies, she bring him to the branch and said, "I'm looking for Jordan, give to Jordan." And then when Jordan even moved to my team, they say, "Oh, Jordan, there's this person looking for you, whoever the name." And so that story is like, oh my goodness, right? It's those are things that make us thinking that's what we do, right? How the impact we're making for the members, they feel we are trusted, right? So we need to make that strength, right? So that was technology. How we serving them? They trust us. They're willing to come to the branches, but we same time we also have greater relationship with the university, right? So we have younger generation coming to us. They are looking for technology, but at the same time, they say, "Oh, we also want a branch. It's there if I want to. If I want to have question, I still." Even though I may never step into a branch, but I want to be there. So that's why we continue to have a branch, building a different unit, communities. So some example I can give is we want to make sure serving members where they want to be served. So whether it's a branch, online, mobile, phone, video, right? So whatever we providing all the opportunities for them to choose that what is best for me, even for a particular incident or particular day, right? So we have those options open for them. They have a choice. Example of we recently launched AI chatbot on the phone. While we're doing that, we did the phased. So we said, let's just do on the off hours first. That way the members get used to it, and then now becoming too aggressive, putting in front of the 24/7 during the day. So even when we pre-plan for the 24/7, what we said, we will have option press 0, talk to agent anytime. So not only the beginning of the phone tree, in the middle multiple times. So those members who do not want to using AI chatbot, they can always press 0, come out, so they don't feel I'm strapped, I'm stuck here, right? Have to talk to AI. So that's the one way, right? We are providing AI for people who want to use it, but at the same time, we give others a way out if they don't want to interact with it that way. Similar when we did the CD promotion recently, we have all the ways they can make appointment when they open the CD, because it could be complicated. And interesting enough, actually the percentage of people who make appointment to go to the branch are pretty high, higher than we anticipated. So maybe it's because a bigger dollar amount they open, they feel more, trust to say, I'm go to branch, talk through it, how we transfer money and open the CD. But same time, we're providing a digital way, like the DocuSign, they can just do everything at home, upload the document, right? Transfer, all those can be done remotely. So that's just, in summary, it's just providing all those technologies and the traditional way, whatever the member choose, that's the channel we meet them at, versus to force them to go to a particular thing we want them to go.
I'm one of those who keep pressing 0.
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
to talk. I'm like, just give me a human.
Yeah.
I should probably try to change that. But there's certain comfort of talking to a human. I always think that it can resolve things faster instead of me trying to talk to a bot, and the bot half the time doesn't understand me, and you end up having to talk to a human anyway. I'm sure technology has changed and has gotten better, but So speaking of technology, one of the things is always in the headlines are artificial intelligence. People keep talking about AI, and there's one camp that says AI can help us do things so much faster and quicker and easier and better that we don't need as many humans. So we're focusing on efficiency gains, and efficiency gains. But then I can't help but wonder, okay, great, you can do things 10 times faster and you need less people. What happens to the people that you don't need? There's a very romantic way of thinking, well, they can do something else. But I never hear about that, what that something else is. I just hear the first part. We need less people. So it's a question to you as an executive on overseeing technology and implementation. What do you think we should do as an industry as we continue to move forward on implementing more digital technology and automation? How do we go about reskilling and upskilling the people, and how do we bring the next generation in? Because I worry every time when I think about this. It's not just a remote statistics, right? Because I have children, and I think about, wait, what's going to happen when they graduate school? They still don't have anything to do because now we only need senior people. The rest is replaced.
Yeah, I think we sometimes make things a little bit more dramatic than actually is, right? It's not AI will replace everybody, and we haven't seen that, at least for IC at the companies, right? As much per se. So first of all, when it's mindset, first get all team members are involved, knowing when we work on, say, talk about AI chatbot, it's not going to, the goal is replacing them versus it's implement helping them do their job quicker and better. And so that's, I think, that the conversation of the team members have that mindset, right? Again, it's first getting involved. So when we launched our AI chatbot, we did this company-wide voting for a name for this chatbot, right? Say, oh, what do you like of the chatbot to rename that? So we got that, and then we got vote, and then we call, in the end, we come up a name, Victor or Victoria, can be both, right, woman or man. So that was the idea. And so I think people like, oh, I invested into mindset of have this chatbot, and this chatbot will help the members with some simple questions, and then when they cannot answer, the chatbot not able, then they can easily say talk to an agent, and then that will transfer to our contact center agent, and they will answer more complicated question, or then they jump on the phone if something more important. But if so I think by knowing the chatbot, or when we're working on the phone, a chatbot, and knowing the members actually have less waiting time now, because the simple question like, what's your routing number, right? That's the first, the most important, always the question they ask it. So if those are be answered, then they can utilize their skill, team members using their skill set to solving more complicated problems. They're using the skill training, maybe get on loans, right? So we have several team members from contact center able to training in the loan department, and used to be sent over to the loan department to handle loans. Now they have they can do everything from the contact center. So that is kind of reskill, right? The handle loan is much more complicated than traditional just answer simple questions, right? So by freeing up with the not on the phone with those simple questions, they were able to get on the training to do a more complicated questions from the members, serving member better, right? So another one, I would say, providing opportunity collaboration with AI. It is we encourage team members, right? They are actually using that like ChatGPT, simple things to compose the emails, or creating an initial marketing promotion. But they know that's just starting point. That's not final, right? We need to have our own tone, the voice we typically speak, so they tuning that. And so by having that, it's reduce the time they typically do, then they can do faster, and they can maybe do other more things they're interested to do, right? So I think those are the example of like how we bring people along with this AI journey versus like say you being replaced, right? They feel like they're owning this, right? They are part of it, and how they can serving. So every project we do involve AI, we are involved team members from different departments to get their inputs, because they're the one has all the knowledge, right? And the AI need the data, need the knowledge to train on. So they will be the ones who got involved. So so far those are all the examples I think will helping along the long way.
Bringing people along the journey. What gets you the most excited for the next few years?
So yeah, so there's just so many things changing. You feel like you blink an eye, there's something new coming up. And so, and we all know like US is behind on certain things compared to Europe or Asia, right? And open banking and API is something I'm really excited about. And that's one area we are kind of US is a lack of with different regulations, right? So open banking will be allow the consumers security share their banking transaction data to the third party. So the benefit for the members is they will be to have multiple services to choose from. And then for us as a financial institutions, we have full information about this member, not just what they do with your own institution. When you have access to what else they do with other banks or with other 401k, what other information, and then we'll be able to help them to providing the services they really need, predict their need, and personalize their needs, right? So I think it's a win-win situation. So that's one that I'm really excited about, the open banking and API. Also much more secure through API versus other technologies. Another one I'm really excited, it's agentic AI. So it's this year's buzzword, agentic AI, and but I'm really excited about that. As when I started learning a little bit more about it in this space, it's goes beyond the traditional the generic AI. So by enabling decision making, workflow, have things done versus a generic AI is more knowledge consuming, summarization of knowledge, data, and generic AI, agentic AI allow us to designed to work more like humans, like handling different tasks independently, and then collaborate with the team or through automation. So all more like a human, handle different tasks. And I'm really excited about this. And I know lots of third party, the fintech are in this space right now to try to get something out quickly. So I'm really looking forward to see what can be done and then what we can partner with or use. We don't have the resource to do ourselves right now, but there are platforms are maybe I'm looking at a few platforms able for us to do that, or partner with a third party to do that, right? And I would say another one is data and the AI. So traditionally, we talk about data is we're a data warehouse. We have a BI tool to do a dashboard, and then the new trends right now is actually we have a data. We don't have to manually or not manually creating those dashboard. We can actually skip and then maybe jump to AI because mature of generative AI. Then you consume those data and then you can asking question on the flow form versus we're building a predefined dashboard, right? So then you can ask more like, oh, tell me how many members did this in the last month and also meet this criteria. So those are our questions, our boards or leaders or branch manager, they asking those questions, but now traditionally it would take a much longer time. So, oh, let me create a report for you to answer your question. But tomorrow the person changed their mind and wants to ask something else. Now we have to tweak it. But with the AI technology, that's something I'm really looking forward to, able to say, oh, whatever question you're asking in this, at least in a high level parameter, then you can ask yourself, self-serve, now involve the tech, IT to do so. So that's another thing we're really, really excited about to see how that goes and to see if something we can do in our credit union.
I remember the queries. Oh my goodness. It's always like a request, right? That the business unit submits and they want something and they always wanted something yesterday. They needed it right away. You have to run the query. And then they're like, no, we need something else. I have to submit. Oh my God. I did not miss those days. That was the reason why I left. So yes, I can imagine how this is so much better. And as you say, being able to make things easier and faster, they also have, and you can have better information, more holistic information at your fingertips when you need to, and you can make decisions faster. I mean, it's just all around, even if we extend it to supply chain, to different parts of organizations, I see upside to it. Before we close, I do want to ask you this, because you made a choice. You made a choice to go from the tech industry, the bigger organizations, to credit unions. Oftentimes, credit unions attract different leaders. Some get attracted to the culture, some wanted the mission. For people who want to make a similar move as you do and want to make an impact in credit union space, what is the one advice you would give them? What would you tell them?
Yeah, sure. Good question. So I was drawn by the culture and by the mission we have, right, just to serve the members. And then because through my personal life, knowing health and financial, those are two major things that we all live. And then if you make a bad financial decision, could potentially impact your whole life, right? So offer free, as a credit union, we offer free financial educations, coaching the young, students, like so where you manage your money, start young, right? So those are missions that really draw me to credit union, and then the technology part, like how we can, boost up the technology to serve the member better, right? So you want to serve, but how you can make them better. So that was the reason I dropped, but I would say club was the wise once I sketching in the credit union where my sit, and I would say a couple of things that helped me, and I think it's did well. So one is a collaboration with other business unit leaders. So as a CTO at the technology, we tend to like say, oh, we know how to work on something. We don't need talking to other business unit. But the important of we need to know, one thing we're lucky at technology, we being quote forced to know almost everything the business unit because we are helping them solving some business problems, right? So it's take that advantage, like, okay, I need to learn a little bit about everything and leverage that, and then leverage your own technology expertise to solving business challenges rather than like just standalone business problem. Right, so there are traditional business technology problems. Sorry, but so where there are technology individual problems such as like cloud migration or cybersecurity. Those are more focused technology. But majority of the things we're solving are business related. We're solving a business problem, whether it's enhance the member experience or enhance team efficiency. Right, so as a technology, we collaborate with business unit, get them on board. We work on together with them solving a business problem that you become a much more powerful, and then your project will got supported by all different departments, and then you can get it. You then go back to the cost center. They don't feel like you're costing money because you are helping them solving a problem they always struggle with, and how to improve, how to make this quicker. Right? And then you'll see the bottom line in the end. We got more members, we got more loans, right? So I think this mindset of collaboration, and then I feel like the success of me deliver several major initiatives was mostly contribute to the collaboration. I collaborate with different business leaders to co-lead the projects or initiatives. So it worked really well for me. And then another advice I will say it's for the leaders of credit union. It's not just to sit at your credit union, say, okay, I'm keep the lights on, everything's fine here, I'm fine, right? But get out there, talk to other credit unions, talking to other fintechs, talking to third parties, learn what they have done better than us, or new features. Doesn't mean we buy everything from them, but at least learning what is out there. Then maybe say, oh, we can do ourselves. We have the resource, we can do ourselves. Or say, okay, we don't. We have to purchase or partner with others. So one example, our membership app, for member to apply, become a member, open an account. That particular app we actually created ourselves internally. I went to the conference. I saw what the third party offer. I said, we actually can do ourselves. And then encourage one our team member take on that project and then collaborate with other department. We create our own, and now it's really flexible. When we have an event or different things, we can use the tweak that to meet that need. So that's an example of I learned from the fintech or third party, but then not necessarily purchase them. I learned, I said, oh, maybe we can do ourselves. Then what feature they have, let's do it. So I think it's just a win-win situation, right? Then you bring your team members, the programmers, and then they say, oh, I'm doing something brand new, start from scratch versus always purchasing since we're smaller, right? So I would think those are the advice I will give to feel fulfilled and also, trickle down to your team members as well.
I love the part about when you said collaboration too, because too often, not just within an organization, but I think also as a country, because the US is so big, there's so much going on, and we tend to look in our own problems, right? And we don't look enough of what's out there. And your point about open banking and about other countries and doing something differently, we do need more collaborative spirits. Anywhere we look, and I am a big believer that there's always something that we can learn from others and make our organization and our teams better. So with that being said, thank you so much, Sherry, for joining us today. Appreciate you, and hope we'll get to see each other in real life soon.
Yeah, appreciate it, and looking forward to see you in person sometime soon.
Yes. And for
Yeah.
the rest of our listeners, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of One Vision. We'll talk to you next week.